All right, we're still live here on Africa Sports On, and of course, we're getting things going very, very quickly. It's a delight to have a legend in the house, and of course, there are quite a number of them come through here. I think I'll just start off first from. Let me get the main man. No, I'll start from my immediate left, just before I reveal the man himself. To get things going, Mudianvita Kazadi, you are a trainer from SMU. Lovely to have you join us on the show this evening.
Hey, this is a privilege to be in Lagos, man. I'm honored to be on the stage right now.
Well, we're more than happy to have you. Also here with us is Rhett Lashley. He's also a football coach at Dallas, Texas, SMU.
Honored to be here as well.
All right, great. Well, if you know how they go, they don't waste time as it is. Of course, the legend himself is right here with us, the man who is the reason why all of these great coaches are here in Lagos, Nigeria, Ejike Ugboaja, former the Tigers, and of course, the very first African man to be drafted to the NBA right from Africa. Ejike, lovely to have you on the show.
I'm happy to be here too.
You got to raise your voice, man, because I mean, Kaz just dominated like, hey man, what's up?
He has all the voice.
All right, let's just get things going. Ejike, your foundation has been for 13 years, and most people are thinking 13 years as a Tigers player. What have you been about for the last 13 years?
To be the first African to be drafted right from Nigeria, it's been, and coming from where I'm coming from, being somebody that I never expected that would ever happen to me. So I just decided to want to give back to the other people I left, and it's been so good for me, knowing that I have successfully helped a lot of these boys and girls, and achieving the best education in the United States, in the sense that going to the best schools. And like Chidi, one of them biggest success, signed with Washington Redskins, from nothing to something now. So I'm really excited.
No, so the interesting part is, one would think your focus would strictly be basketball, but it's beyond that. There's American football and of course some other sports. Why didn't you just stay with basketball?
Basically, when Sonny Odogu was, he actually was playing basketball. And I was in Maryland with him. He said, listen, I'm going to try this football thing. So when he tried it, and it happened very well, and I see him doing great things. So I had to find coaches that know football and say, hey, I want you to come to Nigeria to teach these ones. Because if Sonny can do it and do it well, let's try it. So everybody that came, over 10 of them that came that year, they got the big-time scholarship. So since then, my interest for football went higher.
Now, let me jump to Rhett and Kaz. But before then, this is to Rhett. Why did you guys choose to partner with Ejike's foundation?
It's a great question. One of the things is there's a young man, a Nigerian man named Daniel Ejike, who is signed with us at SMU to come play football starting this fall. And so, that was a big opportunity for us to meet Ejike and get that relationship going. And just from talking to him and what incredible job he's done helping guys like Daniel Ejike, whose parents still live here in Nigeria. It was just an opportunity for us to come over and help him continue to grow the sport of American football here in Nigeria, but also give young Nigerian kids an opportunity to learn the sport and play the sport earlier, which will hopefully ultimately give more of them opportunities to get those scholarships.
Guys, you're one man who understands what the African terrain is about, the talents that are bound here. You think we can actually get loads of these young lads and ladies be part of American football, which is very alien to Nigeria sports?
Yeah, well, this is what's awesome. First, I want to say it's an honor to be here, but I want to thank Ejike for putting me in a position to be able to help and have a purpose. So the purpose is awesome. So I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity to help him that way. But I'm originally from the Congo, so the DRC, Kinshasa, and I got drafted to the NFL in 1997's draft by Coach Dick Vermeil. So when you ask me that question, I know from experience that it's very possible for Africans to get drafted and play big-time sports at big-time levels, and from the guys I saw today, without a doubt.
All right. Now, Rhett, the point is this, that American football is really not a big thing in these parts, but then the talents for it can be built from here. With what you have witnessed in the few days you've been with these lads and all that, how feasible is it that you could get quite a number of young lads ahead of and become superstars?
Well, it's definitely very feasible because there's already been some young men paved the way, like Danielson Ike, like Kaz and others. But I think it's like anything else. If we can get over here and continue with Ejike and his foundation to educate the young men and teach them enough to where they want to play, you're going to be good at what you play. There's a reason American football is a big deal in America, because that's what kids grow up playing. There's a reason, you know, football is a big deal here because that's what all the kids grow up playing. And so I think the more we're able to come over here and educate and get guys playing the sport at a younger age, they'll be better at it. They've got a talent and ability. It's just they got to be exposed to it more, and the more they get exposed to it, the more opportunities they'll have. All
right, Ejike, I mean, 13 years of doing this. Every year, what happens? I mean, do you get people who benefit from the scholarship? How many of these people benefit from the scholarship every year?
Yeah, you know, every year is, I'm always having 20 kids to get a scholarship to go to the States. And for the past 13 years, it's been very, very, very successful. And to be honest with you, this year is so crazy that I'm thinking about giving 40 scholarships, because it's a whole lot of them there. Just imagine over 500 kids there, or 3, whatever, and everybody's really showing their best. So I don't even know. I was like, damn, you can't leave this, and you know, and you know, the appreciation they show when they see me, knowing that there's hope for them. So it's just overwhelming, though.
Now, what is interesting also is the fact that, I mean, I know it's been going crazy since Monday they started, and everything should be running up about Saturday at thereabouts. College scholarship, it's comprehensive, it's a full one. But if it's high school, that means all they will take care of will be tuition, and you have to cater for how those youngsters are going to leave. How have you been able to manage it? Who are those that have come to your aid in supporting you?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm going to start with Alonzo Morning. He's one guy that I was surprised when he sent bags load of clothes and shoes to the kids, and I don't know him. But when he heard about what's going on, he sent me a whole lot of bags of clothes and said, please, you know, give to these kids. I know, you know, it's hard to do this thing. They don't have anybody in the States, and you doing this thing, and really nobody's coming to help you. So, you know, this is my own donation to you. You know, I really appreciated that. So I went to really thank him for doing that, not even know me doing that, you know. So, and Mike Flynn came on board, you know, he even came to Nigeria, trying to help a lot of, you know. So, you know, I've been begging a lot of Nigerians to come out and help, but it's difficult. Some of them, if they don't know you, it's a problem to help. Or some of them start thinking, why do I help? What do I, you know? So, but I think, you know, these kids, they are on the street. This is really helping them. Like Sonny was on the street. I picked him up doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. And not only him, a lot of them. Like even this time, there's some boys that they say they sleep in the church. Some of them sleep under the bridge. That thing is crazy. And we have people that can change their life even without going anywhere. But now, school and sports, introducing them to something they never see, now they get better at it, and guess what? They're not going to come bother you trying to cause trouble in the country.
All right, now, one good thing is the fact that you could get some of these young lads. I mean, I can imagine hundreds of them right there with you. But you could get just a few of them over to the States, give them a better life, education, and of course, sports. But for Kaz, are there opportunities where the sports and structures could be built in Africa, where we could also, I mean, not everybody could go to the States, okay? Right. But we could also have it happen here. Because, I mean, how many coaches we had in Nigeria? You brought down to Nigeria now?
About 10 of them.
We're talking 10. I mean, if you have that on a consistent basis, imagine what the wealth of talent will be down here.
Man, it's definitely a passion. It's definitely possible, and especially with his energy and how much he loves these guys, it's going to be, without a doubt, it can happen. You know, we just have to go ahead and focus on it. You know, with their base, their soccer base and their football base, what it does is it makes them so they have a good energy system for football because they're constantly using their feet and they're constantly moving around. They're very good athletes in space because of football. You know, so American football is an easy transition.
Now, I hear that, and I think in a way you want to agree with what he just stated, but I feel that base has got to be here. It has got to be there. Now, if a structure is set in place for you guys to come in here, and of course already these guys have engaged, they understand what it means to be to imbibe the philosophy of American football and basketball, then it makes your job even easier to say, okay, fine, we'll go with this one, we'll go with this one. And yet there's still a structure that is giving them education and giving them the ethics of the sports itself.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, and like I said, I mean, it takes time to get American football to the level it needs to be over here, but it's definitely doable. And I think that one of the things that makes it very possible is, you know, football or soccer as we know it is a team sport.
Yeah.
Well, football, American football, is the ultimate team sport in our opinion. And because you got 11 players on the field.
Oh, you know, in your opinion, right?
Yeah, in my opinion. No, I'm clearly stating in my opinion.
I had to put
and
that out there.
It's more out of ignorance, right? You know? And I like we can use our hands. But because if you got 11 players, and much like in, you know, football here, if one guy messes up, it ruins the whole play. You've got to have 11 guys on the same page, and so it's such a team sport, and it helps you with adversity so much. I think, like Kaz said, from that and playing in space, you can get that base and you can get where we need to get.
Ejike, as I let you guys go, I mean, I won't lie to you guys. You guys have inflamed me with passion for what you guys are doing, and I really want to see a whole lot of Nigerians, a lot of Africans are doing well in the sports, American football. Because it still befuddles me why you call it football, but then you run around with the ball in your hand. I don't get how that works. Fair but Ejike, 13 years strong. It means you're serious about this.
Yeah.
What should we be looking forward to tomorrow? Where is it happening? Somebody's watching this and say, okay, I want to go see what Ejike is doing. Where can they catch you guys?
You know, the National Stadium through Larry, National Stadium through Larry. That's where we're doing it. We're starting, the football is going to start between 12 and 4 p.m. And we started basketball in the morning. 9 to 12 and 4 to 7.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And the truth is, we can only wish you guys all the best. We're happy you guys came through. We're happy you made the whole African continent know what's going down. And I'm sure other athletes are looking at this and saying, you know, we could borrow this template and see if we could develop sports in Africa. And of course, start to, you know, with the owners of the sport at it. I'm not talking to you, right? All right, but guys, thanks for coming through. Kaz, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate your time with us, right? It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming. Ejike, all the best.
Thank you.
And definitely, I'm sure our cameras will be with you tomorrow just to see exactly how things are going. And that's how we round things up on this part of the studio. Entertainment Hangout. Tony is still standing by with Ideal.